we look at the double slit experiment, which was an experiment to see how waves propagate through two slits when arriving at the back wall, they found that when there was nothing to observe the waves as they moved, waves propagate in a distribution pattern, which are all of the ways that you could potentially have had the waves hit the back wall if there weren't walls in front of it. However, when they added an observer or a camera just to watch the interaction, they found that just by putting a camera, the pattern changed to what they would expect. Two discrete columns. What's happening is that as the waves interact with the wall through consciousness, the waves have to then find their way back into the conscious reality that we're perceiving. Why is this? Because human beings exist within a narrow range of frequencies, from about 1 hertz to around 700 hertz. Or 300 megahertz if you want to include the heat that we put off. And this is kind of where we return to the idea of what we can see. Because it turns out in a conscious universe between an observer and the observer is driving the show, depending on how much grip they have on their reality. How is this possible? Because if we understand that within a plasma is a variety of different frequencies, and the more advanced and powerful a plasma is, the more it can create and maintain different sets of frequencies. And being a plasma ourselves, and in later episodes we'll explore further by examining how chakras feed into these vortex-like systems, we begin to see that by existing within our set of frequencies, anything that we create exists in that frame of reference. And that frame of reference causes the waves and the walls to interact once again. I know this might be a little hard to understand, but really, the easiest way to understand this is that everything is happening all at once. It takes the conscious observer and their expectations to begin to do what physicists call collapse the wave function. We can begin to understand the walls existed, but weren't in the frame of reference of the paper on the back wall of the double slit experiment. And so, because the paper wasn't trying to observe the walls didn't exist.